Boop. Boo.
Welcome to the Unwind Online podcast. My name is Shakey.
I'm Tiz.
And we will be your hosts. This is episode 3 of our journey of madness into podcasting and not doing it right. We are getting there. I think we're getting better. We've got an intro.
Yeah. Ish.
This is also, is this going to be the last one in this kind of style for a while on Tiz's side?
I mean, I think we'll
Tiz is
still
jet-setting.
try to keep this style, ideally, but my background will be changing every week.
Her background will be like a guy, like old people coming past with like a coffee and being on the camera and being like...
Well, from ideally Airbnbs and people's places that I'm crashing at, because I'm
Okay,
streamer house surfing, basically, for a lot of it.
Right.
So fingers
But
crossed,
the
I won't have to be
signal
awkward
might
in
not
cafes.
be as good. Backgrounds might not be as good. It might be a little bit scuffed on Tiz's side, so
It's always
just be prepared.
It's always scuffed on both our sides, so
when you
it's
get
fine.
here.
It's fine.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. But yeah, listen, episode 3. Time is flying. Thank you to everyone who's watched the first 2 episodes.
Indeed.
We've got nice little thumbnails now. That was good. Well done, Tiz. That's great. Like it. People are watching them. This is good.
Yeah, I actually had somebody
But
pop
so-
in the other day into chat. It was really sweet. They were like, "Oh, I love your podcast." And I was like, "Oh, wait, what? Us? You've watched it?" Like,
You know me?
it's exciting.
I'm a YouTuber.
Our 20 views. It's so cool.
Hey, our first video is now on 50 views.
Oh,
So
look
we've
at
hit 50 views on the
us.
first one, so thank you
I
for
mean,
that.
really, truly, I think like when you're starting off on any platform, whether it be Twitch or YouTube or whatever, it's just like
Mhm.
as long as you are putting that content out there, if it's getting a little bit better every time, and then also the thing like with YouTube is that it's always there, so it'll grow over time, ideally, and you just kind of have to get started. So I think that's at least we have done the first step. They may
I
not
think
be
the
totally
thing-
polished, but we started.
The difficult thing is as well, like, I'm trying to like commit time between like Twitch and doing this as well. And
Yeah.
like, you're obviously very busy at the moment. You're getting ready to leave, and then both of us are like quickly throwing bits together. And then we've not done the best job at kind of advertising this. So,
But
we've
that's
got-
kind of the point though too. Like if you think about the whole like why we started the podcast, it's like streamers off stream, like what it looks like behind the screens. And this is what it looks like. This is like we don't have any time. We don't know what we're doing. We're like, oh, let's sit down and just like shoot the shit for an hour and try to get an episode out between you have family and other obligations. And for those of you who don't know too, what we were referring to at the beginning of the podcast is that I'm leaving for Europe. I have a one-way ticket to Greece. And beyond that, I have no idea what I'm doing. I know I will be seeing Shakey in Rotterdam on, May
Next month.
30th? But between, my flight leaves
Uh,
April 28th. And so between then and Rotterdam, I have no idea what I'm doing.
This is exciting though. This is really exciting. Like to have
Once
that
I'm-
freedom to just kind
Once
of
I'm at the airport.
book a one-way ticket and just go.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that like I get so anxious. You know that concept of like if you bring a rain jacket, it doesn't rain, but if you don't have a rain jacket, it always rains. So my way of thinking about everything, which is I wouldn't recommend, is if I worry about everything, those things won't happen. So my way is like freak out about everything beforehand, because then I've planned for every worst possible case scenario, and then ideally nothing will go wrong.
But you're traveling, right? So here's something for everyone. You're traveling super light, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like one
I have
backpack,
a
like
30. Well, technically 2. I have a
What's-
35-liter backpack
what's
and a
like-
personal item.
what's like your essentials? I mean, obviously minus the clothes.
Yeah.
And that. Is there something that always goes with you on like every trip, or that you can't do without?
am kind of a dork, and it's
you
something that
packed
you
it full of
totally
books-
would not. Here, do you want me to go grab it? Not what you. Would
It's just
think.
gonna be what? It's just. It's just going to be books, or it's going to be chainmail. If she's taking chainmail, I swear to God, if she's taking chainmail, they're going to stop her at the airport.
Oh god, I don't remember which way I got on
If
this
you,
chair.
if you,
Okay, so I bring both my 35-liter backpack.
I was going to say, if you're like you can't, I don't think you can take chainmail with you
No, I can't.
or
I
books. No,
can't. I'm bringing.
you
Well,
can take a book. A book.
I was about to say. So this always comes with me. This is my Kindle. So this always comes
Nice.
with
Yep.
me.
That's
But
essential, really,
also,
isn't it?
this is
Aw.
my travel seal.
What's the name of the travel
My
seal?
uh it's a Beanie Baby. His name is Slippery. I don't call him Slippery.
Slippery.
That's not my mother gifted this to me on my first trip however many years ago. And so every
That's
trip I
really
go
sweet.
on,
That's nice. Yeah.
the little seal hangs along in my backpack. So that's my
Nice.
one thing I bring with me. But then other
I
than
think
that,
that's
it's
nice though,
like,
because you need the comfort. You know, you need a little bit of kind of
yeah. And I
I
have
don't know
like
something.
I actually have rings that I don't wear when I'm at home, but when I travel, I wear like I have one that my sister gave me, one that my mom gave me. So they're all like my family is with me, I guess.
That's nice. So
It's a weird thing, but they're just like habits that I've had since I first started traveling. So I have
no, I
some
get it. I get it because when I
little
did
bits like
travel,
that.
it was always nice to have something that reminded you of people or of home.
Yeah. So I do that.
It's a weird thing.
And then I have like my like 4 pairs of pants and 5 or 6 shirts and then a rain jacket and a puffy, and that's basically
See,
my
I wish I
backpack.
could travel. I don't think I'd be paranoid about traveling too light.
Well, the thing is, you can always buy things. If you ever don't have
Mm.
something and you need it, you can always like. I remember I spent a year in Asia, and I was mostly in with the same 35-liter backpack, but I was mostly in like Thailand and Vietnam and stuff like that, and so it was really
To
hot.
go there.
So I mostly just had like shorts and rompers and everything, and then for Christmas, I was like, let's go to Japan. It's snowing in Japan for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I went up there with my little shorts and just absolutely froze my ass off the entire time. I ended up buying like a giant wool sweater that I wore every single day I was there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so you can always get things. And I think that's people think that you have to be like 100% prepared to go on whatever trip, but for the most part, the
Yeah. I'm
things
just
that I
paranoid.
always
I'm
get when I
over.
land, sunscreen, because I need like a super bottle of sunscreen for this pasty skin.
So I've got nice
And
trousers.
I'm trying to get a new pair of shoes before I leave because shoes are the number one most important thing, I think, because they need to be comfortable and
Comfy.
you
You
need to be
have
able to
to have
walk
them.
in them a lot because especially like
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Europe if you're walking around a bunch, comfy shoes. But then you also have to look cute, so I'm trying to get the best of all worlds for shoes. If anyone has recommendations, let me know. I'm in the market
But
for
you're
some new shoes.
excited about it though, right? You're excited about this. This is kind of this is your thing, isn't it? Really.
Yes and no.
And I know.
I am a hobbit. I'm a Taurus, and Tauruses are known for being homebodies, and so like I love living in my little hobbit hole. Like trying to get me out of my
Mm.
routine and my little safe, cozy space is always really tough. But traveling is like the thing that like makes me feel really alive. So trying to get outside of my comfort zone is always a little bit of a struggle. But once I'm there, it's kind of interesting. I was thinking about it where I get so anxious now. Like I'm so worked up having to like leave Cerberus, who is my dog by the way, and leave my routine. But then I know every time I walk into the airport, like my bag is packed. I can't bring anything else. It is what it is. And once I walk into the airport, it's like everything goes quiet for me. I'm like, here we go. Now we
Yeah.
just
I
let it
think.
roll. It's
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
pre-planning that's stressful for me.
Yeah. 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 It is. It always is because there's always that you feel you're gonna forget something or something's not gonna. Once you're there, you're like, okay, I'm here now, and
Mm-hmm.
this is it. It's happening. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'll have a great
And
time.
I'm excited
I'm.
because I get to meet you and all of these other awesome
Yeah.
streamers in a month.
This
So
is
that's
a long
exciting.
time coming, really. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Are
I
you
really,
excited for
really,
TwitchCon too?
really. Yeah, massively, massively. Last year was amazing. It was so good, honestly. Like it was more for the people rather. The event was good. Don't get me wrong, the event was good, but like it was all the
It's
people you
always
hung out with.
it's the connections that you make more than
100%.
anything else, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that we'll have to have like a full maybe like a TwitchCon episode. Maybe
yeah. I
you
don't
and
know
I
how.
can
Yeah,
run around together. We could be like a vlog podcast episode. We could like run around and
you're gonna
see
have to
all
have
of our
like
favorite creators.
one of those rigs on your back with like a light that comes over. Like people have got like proper like backpack rigs that have
So
lights and a camera. And
I can technically check one out. It's a partner perk, so we could. You can do those
what do you
streaming
mean?
backpacks. You know those like IRL streaming backpack things as a partner perk. You can like check them out in the lounge if you like So I could do that if you wanted to. And you could walk around with me.
What?
Get back here. Fine. Shakey's salty. He.
Although, I don't know if this is true, but like in the the TwitchCon Discord, which I'm in,
Yeah.
you know,
Actually, I don't think I'm even in that.
Because no, you wouldn't be, because you're not a panel, you're not a content provider for the
Oh,
event.
for that. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. We need to go there.
My badge actually says something like content participant or something like that on it.
Yeah, it says like
And
I've seen those before.
you don't have one though, do you? So it's a
Not
shame.
this year. Another year I can.
But like, so I'm gonna be on the stage. I don't know if it's a stage, but like, we're gonna make it like a podcast.
Can you tell that
type
Shakey and
thing
I are
between four of us.
competitive at all? Anyway, your stage, and what about the rest?
And in one of the Discords, one of the guys who organises other events, like he organises the Cardiff meetups, he's also on the panel on a different
Oh, cool.
thing.
Wait, the
And
one
he
that
said,
you're
I
on, or a
think-
different panel?
A different one, but
Okay.
he kind of does a lot of events for Twitch, and he comes into my chat and that, and he mentioned to me the other day, he said we might possibly get access to some of the, not the lounge, but like maybe some of the invites to content things or party things. So if I see you at the party,
I'll pretend like I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
be like, I'm gonna be like really fucking awkward because I have my little badge. Oh no, because no one will know that I'm an affiliate. Wait, no, there's a tick on the badge. I think there is a. I think there was.
But you already have a badge?
I've got last year's badge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Not this year's badge. But I don't know. It's gonna be good anyway.
Well,
I'm looking forward to it. I've got to try and meet as many people as possible over the space of like 3 or 4 days.
I think what's really
it's gonna be
challenging.
socially. It's gonna be like I
Yeah.
remember last year after the Saturday, we got back to the apartment and I was just like, and I didn't want to talk to anyone because my social battery was just depleted.
Well, it's so hard because I get torn between wanting to meet as many people as I possibly can, which is good, right? But also wanting to spend, like, I would love to spend extra time with like you and Joy and the people that like we really talk to a lot, or like that are part of the stream team or something. So you just feel like you get pulled in all directions and spread real thin trying to do all the things that you want to do in like 3-4 days. So it's fine.
It'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be good.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. And then you said you might come to the UK at some point after, maybe.
Yeah, it's really cheap for me to fly because since I don't have my flight back yet, it's really cheap for me to fly out of the UK, like do like London to New York or something like that. So
Fucking
maybe I'll
hair
come
looks
pop
like a
down there.
toupee today or something.
Huh?
My hair
You
looks
okay?
like a wig today. Yeah. I'm so...
Well, floof. Especially
But yeah,
when it's
no, that'll be good.
backlit.
That'll be good if you come to the UK.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we can have some nice food because you were like, shit food, blah blah blah.
No, I just said that UK people are shit with spice.
But we're not though. We're not getting into this again.
Yeah, whatever you say. We'll.
Anyway,
Should we have maybe?
Anyway,
Hey, we could do a what was the wing challenge thing called?
I went to the gym. I went to the. Oh yeah, we could. No, I don't like wings.
We could do a hot one. Why? Because it's too hot for you?
No, because I don't like chicken on the bone.
I don't like chicken on the bone either. Obviously, Shakey, we're the same person. But no, boneless.
So why would you suggest a wing?
There's boneless wings.
Okay, maybe. What was I going to say?
You don't like chicken on the bones either.
Oh, I'm following on
the
from
weird things that we have in common.
What's that so? Yeah, no, I don't like it. It's the texture of it, and then it's all like.
I don't like. Yeah, I don't like what I call creepy meat.
It's got that yeah, I don't know what it is. Creepy meat, yeah.
Never mind.
Went to the gym again today. That was good.
Nice.
Almost went too hard on it. My heart was like, and then my mouth started to close up, so that wasn't fun. But I think I did good. Also, there was a sweaty guy there as well, and I had to use the machine after him. But he's one of I hate people who don't have the right gym etiquette, and they wear, like, the men wear vests, and they have like hairy armpits. So he was on the machine where you kind of lean over it, and it just isolates your biceps.
Yeah.
And you do a curl. But because he was leaning over it, the armpits were like rubbing on the pad. And then after I got on it, and I'm like, And then I'm like, is that me? And I was like, no, it's not me. And then I was really paranoid because there was like people on the machines next to me, and I'm like, it really fucking wound me up. It's really big. This really kind of like he was quite muscly,
Wait,
but
do
he
you
had
guys
loads of
do
harm.
you guys not like wipe down the equipment after
You're
you use
supposed to.
it?
You're supposed to. And although there wasn't like you couldn't see any kind of
Oh, but like it still
sweat
smelled.
stain, it
Ew.
smelt of the BO.
See, that's
So then
most
I
of the
was
time when I'm in the
paranoid to
gym,
use
I
that
walk
machine.
around and I wipe things down before I use them, just because I'm a prissy pants
Yeah,
like
I
that.
didn't have anything. I mean,
Especially
I
since
just
like
had
COVID.
some
I used to
paper
work
towels
at a
for that.
gym, and after COVID and all of that, there's enough gross things that you see where I'm like, you know what? Just wipe your equipment down before you use it. Cause
I was thinking I could work at that gym. I was thinking I could do it.
yeah, I mean maybe you just do a part-time job there and do streaming. You do part-time gym stuff and part-time streaming stuff.
That's it. That's what I'm thinking.
And it'll
Yeah, so I
motivate
don't
you
know.
to get in great shape. That's the perfect balance that you need. Great shape at the gym.
Yep.
Turn into a veg while you stream.
Yeah, that's got to be it because I'm enjoying going there, and it's helping me. Which kind of this kind of links into what we're saying with. So last week we did physical kind of well-being and health and keeping in some form of shape. You see, also, do you see what shirt I'm wearing today?
Yeah, I saw
It's ironic. It's
You need to
ironic,
get in
isn't it?
shape
In the fact that
for the Basel, huh?
it's ironic as well. What if she's there? What if she's what if she's there? Yeah, she might be there.
She
'Cause have you
she
seen
might
the voice
see you.
actor? Have you seen the voice actor for her?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but it's quite ironic because I've not even completed the game. I've done Act 1.
It's fine. You'll get there.
And do you know what I did? Do you know what I did? I uninstalled it this week to make way for Oblivion.
Actually, I did too. Shh, don't tell anyone.
You're not a real fan. You're not a real fan.
Okay, well, I haven't played it in a while, and it takes up a lot of space. So
yeah, which reminds me, update you a little bit about me.
Oh no, I know.
It'll be about me. I'm a Baldur's Gate streamer. Blah blah
No,
blah.
I said mostly Baldur's Gate on it. I didn't say I was a Baldur's Gate streamer. But yeah,
you are a Clair Obscur
listen,
Expedition
every
33
time
streamer, and that is fact
and that's
matter.
it. I think honestly, I could see myself doing challenge runs of that and only playing that for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Probably not actually, but like
we'll come on to that towards the end.
Mental stuff.
So
we talked about physical,
we went from
mental things.
Physical last week, so it's mental this week, and this is where this kind of falls in. This is squirrel. This is where it falls into your. Where are you here? This is where it falls into your category, because you do Mindset Mondays.
Oh yeah.
Well, you do Mindset Mondays. You do a lot of talks on mental health.
On my stream, to be specific.
Both kind of. Primarily, I think. I guess outside of streaming, more just general life, mental health, and
yeah. I mean, I got a
yourself.
certification for life and health coaching a couple years back, and did yoga teaching, and I've made it a life thing of mine. I just find mindset and the rest of it super interesting. So I have a ton of books that I read on it and something that I research. And on my stream, we do a Mindset Monday. And so that's something that we chat about a lot. So it is something that I'm very interested in. But I don't necessarily think we need to talk about like specific mindset stuff. But I think one of the things Shakey and I were talking about was just how with streaming or being on the online space, there's so many mindset things that come into play because of it, such as like
we're not going to talk about a certain tweet.
We might talk about that. So I was gonna start with like imposter syndrome.
And comparison. Do you know what I saw it? And I was like, oh,
are you talking about my post?
Yeah, what do you think I was talking about?
I wasn't even thinking about you. Okay, listen. You know what? Because Shakey brought it up, now we have to talk about it.
Should we get it out in the air? Let's get it out in the air. Let's get it out in the open.
Shakey has issues with numbers, by the way. He looks at stats a lot, and it stresses him out.
I don't.
Lies. You obsess over numbers.
I don't.
So I wrote a tweet the other day.
No, do you know?
Uninspired by Shakey.
Let me read this out.
Ahead.
Okay. Tis just a reminder for mass streamers to always pay attention to the people who are there. You'll grow more when you're having fun and being authentic rather than only grinding for the numbers. Comes with a nice side of better mental health and lower chance of burnout too. Do you know what? I've not spoken anything about numbers this week. And then this tweet comes out like 2 minutes before I'm going live on stream.
It
And
had
I'm like,
nothing to do with
Tiz,
you. I was on a
I
walk.
was
Literally. Okay, you want to know how this tweet came about? I was on
okay.
a
In
walk.
your
I
mind,
was
who was in
trying
your
to
head?
think of something to post because I haven't posted on social media a lot. I actually asked ChatGPT good topics to talk about. And it was like streaming numbers and this and that. And I was like, you know what? I don't like that. I think it should be more about the people that are in the community rather than the rest of the numbers. So that was what I made a post about. You and your thing with numbers didn't even pop into my head, which proves to me, though, how much you do worry about that because you thought it was referencing you, didn't you?
I just want to know who your streamers are that would relate to.
Literally no one in general. Have you seen the people that comment? Oh, there's a lot of people that have reposted, have been like, yeah, this is a good reminder because it's hard for me when I stream full time because I start to focus on the business side of it and like blah, 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 blah. It's Shaky. Not everything is about you. I'm sorry to break it to you.
No, I'm not saying it is. There is no way that didn't cross your mind.
It didn't. It legitimately
You're
was a
such a
post.
liar.
Well, I mean, after I posted it, I was like, yeah, this is what Shaky does. But
Anyway, listen.
so apparently what we need to talk about today is the mindset around Twitch numbers and other things, right?
I think
Since
it would be good to cover a
someone's
couple
getting
of
really
bits.
worked up about it. So, I mean,
It's quite hot in here, isn't it? It's quite feeling quite warm and like just under pressure a bit here. I think it would be good to talk about the mental health side of things when it comes to streaming, absolutely, because I think it not only, I guess, really not in terms of only looking at like the stats, but like overthinking things and burnout and having this online presence on Twitch all the time and just like Twitch can be all consuming.
yes. Well, and
And it's so difficult to get out of that mindset sometimes.
it's not just you, by the way, too. So like when I made that post, a lot of it is also because streaming is what I do full time, and so when it is a quote unquote job that you're doing, it's interesting because streaming it feels a lot like a hobby. You're getting to do something that you really enjoy. Like you're getting to hang out with your friends online and play video games, right? So like that is an
Yeah.
enjoyable thing, but if it is what you do full time, it's hard to not let it start being about the numbers or how much you're making or something like that because like obviously if it is what you do full time you have to make money to live, so there is that does come into it. So more than anything I was not thinking about you and your stat chasing and more and
Okay,
more
right.
just how it concerned me and the way that I think about it because I've been in this mindset. Actually my community, we had a discussion at the beginning of April about it just being no fucks given month. So basically,
Mm,
just trying to not care as much about what game I'm playing or what I'm saying or what I'm doing on stream and just trying to be as authentic and genuine and just enjoy myself as much as possible because that is always what I try to do. And I think there's a little piece of trying to show up as your best self on stream because you are in front of a camera and you are trying to be entertaining. So that's just been something that I've been thinking a lot about this month,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah. And I do get it, I do. I am the worst person to kind of promote any form of mental health in this capacity, but I think it's good for us to talk about it because I'm trying to not necessarily not give a fuck, but more just like not be so caught up in everything numbers wise.
Hmm.
I've tried to do that more because I don't want to ever come across like I'm not enjoying what I do because I do love what I do.
Yeah.
Um, and I just need to almost just switch off my brain sometimes and get it to stop and realize that everything's fine, everything is good.
Well, and there's
Remember
multiple.
why you started this and why you love doing it
Mhm. Well, there's
and
so
what
many
you get out
parts
of it.
to it though, too, right? Like there
Yeah,
can be. I think it can be yes and like like yes, you enjoy it, and numbers do matter if you're trying to make it streaming. I think that is something that it's important to acknowledge. I think what's really important is the way that you think about it. Like it can matter and it can be important, but it can't be something that makes you aggressively eat rice cakes and hate life. It can be like, oh, this is motivation for doing things differently.
nothing wrong with
Not that I'm
aggressively eating rice
referencing
cakes.
a real event or
Not that it's
anything.
coming back to me or anything. I just, I think if it was a yeah, I think you go through phases of it like when you're just starting out, it's just an exciting thing, and whatever happens will happen, and then you get to a point where like what I'm at the moment, and everything gets a little bit more exciting, a bit more kind of focused, and then almost you want that brain to be focusing on the numbers, but at the same time, you almost have to almost forget that it's not happen. Pretend it's not
Yeah.
happening, and it's hard because Twitch, for as good as they are with a lot of things, the things they're not good for is it kind of shoves it in your face and it's like, these are your average viewers. It was down 6 from last time, and then you
Yeah.
get your little bar charts on the right, and they're like, you didn't get as many unique views or as many subscriptions this week, and you're
So
like,
you
oh
have the
great, well
down arrow on
I
all of them.
guess I'm fucking failing. I guess I'm gonna just get better.
Yeah.
So it's tough, and it's tough for whatever level you're at, because I think if you're trying to start building a community and you're struggling to get 5 viewers or 10 viewers in, it goes all the way up. And I think I was speaking again just recently again to Joy, who you mentioned earlier on
Hmm.
in the stream, and Joy was saying, like you said to me before, even when you get to partner, that there's still that part of you that it never really goes away. There's always a little bit that's always like, oh well, the numbers aren't where they're
Hmm.
supposed to be, and why aren't they? And you quite rightly say like, what you can't do anything about that. It's just there are things that get in the way, or things that happen, and you have a good stream, or you have a not so good stream. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Well, and I think the hardest part about that is you could even have a really good stream in the sense that, you can show up and feel like you showed up as your best self, and then, maybe it's
Yeah,
a holiday, or maybe a new game came out, or, there's so many reasons why maybe there weren't as many viewers on Twitch, or people went back to school, or there's so many components to why things are successful or not when you're showing up in that space, that it can be really
yeah,
hard to not make it feel like it's your fault and be like, oh, I must have had a bad stream. And I think that is like the most discouraging and the hardest part about streaming a lot
yeah.
of times, is showing up and feeling like you did really well, or even like I've for this month I turned my numbers off all everywhere. Like I used to be able to have it on my bot so I could see it somewhere. I could see it on Mix It Up, but then I had it turned off everywhere. So I could like switch over and peek. It is now at that point where I cannot see it anywhere unless until I
It's a
raid
good
out.
thing,
And so there's that hard moment where you raid out and you're like, oof, maybe I guess that was not a good stream or something, right? Like, and I think it's
rather than kind of dealing with it as it's happening throughout the stream, which is
well, I
what
think
I
that's important because it doesn't affect the way you
sometimes
show up
do.
on stream. But what I'm saying is
Hmm.
seeing that number afterwards, like even if you felt like you had a really good stream, like I don't see my
Yeah,
numbers, and then say I rate that out with less people than I normally have, it's hard to then not get in your head and be like, oh, was this something I did, or blah blah blah, and spiral. And I think the post stream uh yeah, post stream spiral, I feel like is what I'll just call it, where you start to worry about, what happened or didn't happen or anything during
so
stream.
so in regards to that then, so
Mhm.
how, because this is going to obviously be something that I take away from this, but also anyone who is watching this podcast and is a streamer as well, how do you just switch off and walk away after stream? How do you not kind of go into this mode that I do of like checking things, what went right, maybe what went wrong? How do you just kind of almost separate yourself from
Yeah.
it?
I mean, first of all, I wouldn't say that I'm perfect. I think there are definitely times that I do see numbers and I go, I suck. You know, like it's hard as a
I
human
tell her,
being
I
to
always tell her she
not,
doesn't, but and it's vice versa. But yeah,
yeah, it's hard not to. I mean, I'm pretty, no, I'm just kidding. But I think for me, what I've found, especially this month, I've worked really hard on it because I actually started to get a little bit more like, I, my brain's in like six places at once. I think
come
a
on,
couple a couple
think about
things.
what you
Let
want
me
to
let me
say.
organize and
Break it down for
yeah, a
everyone.
couple things, and a little bit of a preface to like what we're talking about a little bit is, so I got partner last year. Shakey is getting really close, and so numbers are something that is, he shakes his head, but he's been getting a lot closer. And so it's something that's in a consideration because in order to get partner, for anybody who doesn't know about Twitch, you have to hold a 75 average viewer for, I think they say 3 consecutive months before you can even like the button unlocks to be able to apply, but they usually don't accept you until you hold it for 3 months. So even if you really enjoy streaming and the rest of it, it does end up being a little bit stressful worrying about trying to keep 75 average viewers in your
Oh
stream
God, yeah.
for months at a time, right? Because, and if you don't really have a whole lot of control over it, you know, it can be tough. And so being somebody that I already went through that process, but now on the other side of it, I have noticed it's like I'm not trying to reach that benchmark, but there's almost like I feel sometimes like I'm failing as a streamer if I've fallen below it. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like
I understand.
because I got that,
Mhm.
now there's still that play of yeah, so it kind of never ends in some ways. Like if you start grinding as a streamer, you always want to get more numbers and you want to do better and then you want to hit partner and that feels like the big goal. But I think sometimes then you hit partner and then you want to contain or you want to continue that number and keep improving, right? So then
Yeah.
if I've noticed and I've heard that this is a thing for a lot of people that hit partners is then it backslides a little and then that's stressful too because then you like feel like you're like yeah here's you hit this high of like yeah, I got this big benchmark that I've been striving for however many years and then you're kind of like oh well cool
But the thing is,
so
like, yeah, go on. Sorry.
well I was gonna say so that's kind of a little long-winded preface nice well done
I don't like that.
little
It's like Jimmy Neutron. Look at it. It's
not
like Jimmy
you
Neutron
you
now.
can
It's
barely see
awful.
it it's fine so that's a little bit of like kind of background as far as that goes. And then
Mm.
as to your question for how you separate it and just kind of walk away, what has helped for me is one, turning off all the numbers everywhere. Like I really don't see it when I stream because I was noticing that
Mm.
if I glanced up and I had less than average viewers, like it would affect my mood and I would be less bubbly or excited or whatever. So I don't look at numbers at all. And then I have actually gotten to the point that like I will see numbers when I rate out because it'll say like you are rating with so and so numbers. And
Exponent, yeah. 4
I
viewers in my case.
sometimes I will look at the average, like the email that
I'm
you get
kidding.
that
By the
tells
way, I'm
you.
kidding.
I will sometimes
Yeah, yeah,
look
the
at
email.
that
Yeah.
the next day, but I have actually gotten to the point where I have just not looked. So I rate out, I see the number, I go, okay. And I try to focus on all of the things that, like if I'm making an announcement, being like, hey, thanks for this thing that happened in stream, or this is what I'm focusing
Yeah.
on for next time, or this is what I'm excited to play. And it's trying to make a list of all the things that I am still excited for or things that I have control over rather than, because when you look at the numbers and it's something that you can't really do anything about, that you're just going to drive yourself crazy. So that's, I guess, what I have been doing recently, and it's been helping a lot.
I find it I'm too curious, too much of a curious bastard to kind of not look at them. I don't have the numbers displayed everywhere. But like when I'm
Yeah.
switching stuff on the screen, if I'm like moving between games or going on Steam, like Firebot will sometimes be there and it'll say the viewers at the top.
But see,
And then
I took that off of my
or
bot too.
sometimes I'll be changing something on my OBS and then it'll be there. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh. Anyway, guys. Anyway, I'm gonna end stream now. Can't be bothered. No, I'm not like that. I'm not like that. I'm kidding. But I feel like I almost would be better. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it because I'm too nosy. But it would be
But
almost best to kind of switch off my computer and then come back in the morning and look at the numbers then when I've refreshed and slept and I'm not feeling like
yeah,
doom and gloom because I think I finish so late at night sometimes that my brain is my worst enemy. And I think a lot of time
yeah.
for streamers, we're our own worst critics. We beat ourselves up
You think
so
sometimes?
much, and we always we I think we always are. I know I know a lot of people are always striving for even better each time. Like they're
Hmm.
not happy. They're not content with what they're putting out. They feel that they need to do more. I know that I always feel that I need to do more.
Well, it's kind of like that TikTok that I sent you the other day, right? Where it said something about she was like, "Hey, you always feel like you're failing because you keep raising the bar."
You
So
keep setting a
so
higher bar.
good
Yeah.
job. Like you hit that milestone. And I think that's something that I was thinking about too is that there are probably so many streamers out there who look to your streams and go, "That is my role model and that's the stream that
Well, it's
I
funny
want to
you
be
say this.
like."
It's funny. It's funny you say this because, like, actually, like, I do nosy around sometimes. Streams, people's streams, their vods and stuff.
Mhm.
Vods. It's nice when people have vods on.
Listen, I
Some people
published
don't have
some of
vods
them.
though. Some people don't have vods. But like one of them, a guy that I got to know a couple of months ago, really nice guy. He's got a great little community. Well, he's got a good sized community actually, but he he'd raided over to us, and we welcomed him in like we do everyone, and we were having a laugh with him, and his community liked it in my stream, which was great. I loved it. And then and we celebrated like a 1K celebration with him because
Mhm.
he came into our stream and he was on like 995 or something. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
I'm not doing any more of this stream until we get 1K for him. And then we got it
Yeah.
and we celebrated and he got okay. And then I was in his stream the next one, or I'd looked at a VOD or something, and there was him kind of just saying, yeah, we went and raided this guy called Shakey. He was really cool. And then he was playing my VOD back on his stream. And he was
Mhm.
saying this guy's setup is cool. He's got the whole camera switching
Mhm.
thing and like the zoom in stuff. And he said that's really kind of like a high quality. And I was like, that makes me feel so great. Like because
Mhm.
I don't ever consider that as like a high quality thing, but to
Yeah.
other people like that, and that's such a because again, this all goes back to this whole you put so much time into Twitch, and you give all you can do is give yourself feedback because it's not a job where you have a manager and
Yeah.
you have like a performance structure and a kind of like reviews and things like you would in a lot of different job types. You have no way of knowing if your content, how engaging your content is, but also if you're doing the right things and if people are liking just general feedback. I know people saying like at the end of the stream, thanks for the stream. And don't get me wrong, that's always a lovely thing to read for all of us when the chat says thanks for the stream. But when someone comes in and says something like, I really enjoy what you're doing here, or they message in my Discord, or the next stream they come in and said, love your stream the other night, by the way, that
Yeah.
was really fun. That's quite a nice thing to hear, isn't it? Because it gives you it's just nice feedback to have. Because we don't give ourselves nice feedback
Yeah. And I
ever.
think there's a couple of pieces to that. First of all, sorry, I just got distracted for a second because the dog just started making puking noises, and that's why I was like,
Oh no.
so I got distracted for a second there. But
I
Dante's
can't do
got
any
it.
more puke talk today. My kid
Oh no.
projectiled everywhere.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Um, but the one of the things that I was saying nice things to ourselves, I think that's an important thing is like focusing on I actually made Shaky do this the other day too when he was getting down on himself about one of his streams.
Oh God.
I was like, tell
Ah,
me 3 things that
tell
you
me.
do really well.
Yeah.
I make him do this all the time and he gets really mad, clearly. You can see he gets all salty about it. But I think that's an important practice for anybody to do is because rather than focusing on all the things that aren't doing well, because we tell ourselves negative things constantly. And it is really hard, right? Like when I have you do that, sometimes it's really challenging to even think of anything.
But I kind of
And
I feel embarrassed
well, but
because I'm
that's
like,
so fucked up, right? Like, and I think
yeah,
that's partially our society is it is ingrained in us that we have to keep striving, we have to keep working really hard, and that nothing we ever
yeah,
do is like good enough, and that like if
no,
you say that you're doing well, then you are just like egotistical or you're bragging or like you're doing something in a negative way there, right? And I think that there's a way in which like we can celebrate ourselves and say that you're doing well and to recognize that without it being like an ego thing. And I think
because
it's really good for our own positive self-talk, so we're not just shitting on ourselves all the time.
the thing is, we hype the fuck out of
Yeah, we
each other
hype
as
everybody
streamers. All of
else.
us do.
Yeah.
Like we're like, they're amazing. Go follow them. This is why they're incredible. But don't follow me. And
Yeah.
I'm scuffed and I'm an idiot. But I don't know what I'm doing. You know. So
Well, but so I
yeah,
think
it's
the
self
other
love, isn't it? It's a bit of self
Mhm.
love,
It's
and it's
self-love,
hard.
but then the other thing that I was saying is like I think
Obviously not that
like
kind of
as
self love, like in this kind of
okay,
yeah.
okay. But as you were saying like how what this other person was saying about your stream, right? Is I do think that as you start as a streamer,
Uh-huh.
everything is always building and learning, right? Like
Yeah,
you start
yeah.
we were talking I don't know if we were talking about this on stream or maybe we talked about this in the podcast in an earlier episode, but when you start streaming, a lot of times like you'll have those the classics frames and everything. And then it's funny because like your streams almost get like more crazy, like you add more things and more labels and more things. And then I've noticed this shift where it's like you add more stuff and then then you kind of move away to like my stream now is pretty simplified. Like it's just the camera with like a basic chat. And like for a while there I used like a fancy looking chat and like part of it is just changing the stream look, but I do think that it in some ways it's like putting on a really fancy outfit to try to like be like, "Oh, look, I've got cool things, bells and whistles." And then as you learn how to stream or as you stream more and you get more comfortable with it, then you kind of strip it back out and you're like, "Okay, now I'm just here as myself, just showing up and entertaining and stuff." And it is this process of learning and getting better and changing and growing to where you don't even realize it necessarily. Like as you said, but
Yeah,
there are people that look up to that and who do like your setup or like the way that you show up to stream, and it's important for you to believe people when they say that about
yeah,
about your streams.
it's taken that on board. Streaming is a journey though. It is you are so right when you say about this whole kind of, it's almost this kind of cluttered, not saying people's streams are cluttered, but I know mine for a fact when mine was a lot more cluttered than what it was now.
Mhm.
But then like you have lots of people with different things happening, and it works for people because it's their vibe and their energy on stream, and people resonate with that. But as a streamer, I think a lot of us over time go through this phase of like, we do become more minimalists. Like if you look at the top like 100 streamers on Twitch, all they have is like a camera. They have
Yeah.
nothing else on screen. They don't even have like, they don't have a border on their camera. They don't have any text on screen. It's literally just them.
Yeah.
Like they've stripped everything back to zero. And but I think that's not. I think it is normal because
Mhm.
I look back at some of my stuff that I had in 2021, and I look at it. I'm like, what were you thinking? It's like looking at like old schoolwork. You're like, oh god, that's,
Yeah, use
did I
like
really used to draw
the
like that? Yeah,
free stream element templates that like half of the new the streamers use,
yeah.
and yeah.
I don't even. Let's not talk about. And I just want disclaimer before I say this. Some of them are very cool and they do fit your thing,
Yeah, we're
but
not if you
the-
use these, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
this is
It's
fine. What I'm going to
just
say, if this, if you're, I genuinely want to say as well, if you are looking for a little bit more of a way to stand out, don't go to the same artist and use the same logo where it's like a ninja or like a
Oh my
bear
god,
with
yeah.
like their name written over it and like colors.
Did you
Because
use
I'm
one
going to
of
be
those?
honest, those, no, I never did.
Oh,
So
okay.
the graphics artist will sell you all different ones of that, and they'll just
Yeah.
change
The
the character and
facial.
the name.
Mhm.
You want a nice poppy
You
image. You
don't
want a nice a
stand
color
out
that
at
pops
all.
out. You want your face. I'd say ideally you want your face. I'm looking at people I follow now. They've all got their face with different bright colors behind them,
Mm.
and it's just a nice headshot.
See,
That's
that's
all you
mine.
need.
I hate
You
pink.
don't even need
Well,
the
as I
name. You
say,
don't
there's
need the
pink
name.
everywhere, but like I hate pink and yellow,
I
and both
hate
of
pink. She
those.
said she's got it behind
Well,
her.
that's what I'm saying. I
God.
use it everywhere because it is like kind of an eye-catching color. And that's what's like on my profile picture, but I don't actually like that color. It just like I had it on there. It was light, it was bright, and I was like, well, that works as a profile picture because not as many people have it. So
Yeah.
let's use this.
I'm not saying I'm not saying people won't come in the street, but I'm saying I don't I don't want people to fall into that kind of being one of the herd.
Well,
Um,
it's tough because there's so many streamers. So you not only do you need to like do things in the way that's entertaining, the way that all the other streamers do it, but also try to
mm,
find a way that's unique and that stands out. Because like if people were to pick, ultimately, every day when somebody clicks on Twitch, why are they going to go to your channel versus somebody else's channel? Is kind of the whole thing. If you're trying to grow, sometimes people
true.
do it for hobbies and for fun, and you're just showing up to vibe and play video games, and that's great. And there is nothing wrong with that. If you are trying to grow on Twitch and that is like something that you want to do as a job or part-time or whatever you want to do, there is this kind of like business mindset that you do have to do, and that ties into where we're talking about how stressing out about the numbers, but it's the, paying attention to what your marketing looks like,
Maybe
all of your
that's
branding stuff, that's like paying attention to what you think your niche is going to be, and all your
maybe
like,
that's something
yeah,
we can go into further on a future episode
totally.
as well, like the whole mindset. And look, don't get me
Well,
wrong,
we could even
Jesus,
just do a streaming for beginners, or a streaming 101. Like
yeah,
if you want to get started in streaming, what are like
which is
do's and
actually
don'ts? Because I think that there's
this.
a lot of things that I fucked up on when I started streaming that I would have loved
I think we all did. I
to
think we all did.
not. Well, yeah. So we can make an episode so that you can not make the same mistakes that Shakey and I made.
Actually, it's actually what I'm talking about at TwitchCon next month. That's what
Mhm.
I'll be talking about with Joy and a few others is
Getting
getting
started.
started on Twitch.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I don't get like
So
I'm
get all your
not.
your tips
Uh,
together, and we'll that'll be a later episode. Even though this is turning into
yeah,
more streaming than just mindset, but
no,
we
yeah,
can
but
always do both
before
of
we go,
it.
yeah. So get some ideas for us if you want to send us in the comments, if you want to put it wherever, or tell us in the streams.
Like
Please do so. And
questions with
I just
streaming.
want to say as well, I'm making all these kind of statements and advice, but I'm obviously, I'm not a partner or anything. I just know from previous experience what's worked for me versus what's not.
But I think another big point to make, and this is something that I get on Shakey's case about a lot too, is
Oh,
that
great. Here we go.
the check mark does not define success either. I like if you have been showing up on Twitch for 5 years, that in
Hmm.
itself, one is a win. Like when I started streaming, there are so many streamers that started at the same time I did that I don't see on Twitch anymore. So like part of it is the consistency to stick through and still do it year after year, right? There's that. Like that is a win in my book.
That's
There is,
tough.
there are I think what are you like the 0.01 something percent of Twitch because there's so many people that
I'm in the top
yeah,
0.45% of
see
Twitch,
exactly.
I
There's
think.
so many people that trying to get past 5 or 10 average viewers even is can be really
Which
really
is great. It's crazy
challenging.
when you look at it that way. It is crazy,
Hmm.
and you think, oh,
So
holy
like
shit,
how
actually,
far
that's not
you've
bad.
come, even though you don't have the check mark, is still really far.
Yeah. Oh no. Right.
Yeah. And so I
What do
think
you?
that's
Okay,
part of
so
going back to the mindset thing we were talking about, right? Is that
mm,
focusing on the things that are going well, or the things that you have achieved, rather than focusing on the things that we have not gotten to
yeah,
yet, but will still happen. Because I think there is sometimes that self doubt of like, oh, am I ever going to get there? And I think it's ultimately, if you want to get there and you want to make it happen, who knows how long it'll take, but you will keep putting in the effort and keep changing things and keep
yeah.
tweaking it until you get there.
I think that's a big thing. The focusing on the things you're doing right and celebrating those, be it by yourself. I mean, it's good to. I think also with all of this mental side of things, I think it's good to have people to talk to
Hmm.
as well. Not necessarily. I'm not saying like therapy, but I'm saying like just
Other streamers
like
and
me and
yeah,
you will
yeah.
talk, or I'll talk to. I've got some really good friends that are mods, or I'll talk to my partner. I'll talk to Naomi, and I'll say that was a bit shit. And she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but it wasn't really, was it? Because look at how well you did like this week and how things are looking, and
Uh,
you're on the
really,
front page, and then
we should
you're gonna be at
give
TwitchCon.
any like roommates, partners, they all need rewards for the amount of like talking us off a
Honestly,
ledge that we do. Like
I
Nande, the
don't
amount of
know
times that I have been like, I'm quitting streaming, and he's like, no, you're not. You did great. And I was like, no, I was horrible. And he was like,
if
that was fine. It was a great stream. This was awesome. And I was like,
if
fine.
if you are a partner to a streamer, I fully respect you, and
It is
we
hard
applaud
work.
you because you are our soundboard a lot of the time. So thank
Hmm.
you. A big shout out to all the partners who help us through the week to week and
Yep.
get us to escape. I do need to escape my brain sometimes.
Oh, totally. I
But the
100% get
problem is,
that.
I don't really know how to do it because ultimately, the things I enjoy doing often tend to be. I mean, don't get me. I think actually going to the gym this month has been a bit of a blessing, really, because
Yeah.
there I kind of switch off from everything and I just kind of I put some music on, I focus on my workout, I record everything I'm doing, and it feels good, and I feel good coming out of it, and I feel a bit refreshed, which is nice.
Yeah.
And we talked about that last week with exercise and how
Yeah.
that helps with an on-screen life. But what I find is the rest of my time, my hobbies often revolve around being at the computer a lot of the time,
Yeah.
and that just then it naturally is like I'll just click on my Twitch dashboard, or I'll click on my Discord, or I will go into
Yeah.
that person's stream, and before you know it, you've spent a whole week on Twitch, and even when you're not streaming, you're in other. Like at the moment, I'm in 3 streams
Yeah. Well,
because there's this part of me, and again, if this is
it's
happening to
it's that
anyone,
fear that if you're not
please,
around, you're
please, please feel you're not alone in this because genuinely, I feel it as well. I noticed a bit of a difference when if I just clocked out a stream and then people didn't see me till the next stream on my streams versus
yeah.
I'm in other people's stream because I want to. There's so many great streamers that are friends of mine, and I want to support them just as much as they support me. And I love hanging out and being a viewer. I like being a viewer as well, but I worry that if you're not present, I worry that
It's the out of sight, out of
it, it,
mind kind
it's
of
it's
mentality.
it's detrimental, yeah,
Yeah,
to
so
your
you
growth.
want to
So
make
I'm
sure
like,
that you're always still top of mind, and that makes sense. I think
but it's a
I think
balance
what's
again, I
important
guess, isn't it?
though is it's that you need to show up as your best self too. And we talked about this a little bit I think last stream where we were talking about how when
Yeah.
you love streaming as much as we do, you think about it all of the time, and you're always thinking about, like, you know, I like think about people in my chat and like what they're doing, and if they told me something, like how that went, or like, like so much of my life revolves around streaming that it is important to have a balance and to shut it off. And I think having the gym is a good one. But something I was talking to Nande about the other day is making sure that you said something about hobbies there too. And I think something
Hmm.
that's really important, and we were talking about always making sure that we have, like when you're a kid, I don't know if you do this as a parent, but my parents growing up were like, you have to have an instrument, you have to have a craft, and you have to do a sport. And those are the
Yeah.
things that you were required to do. And so we were talking about, well, why don't we just make that a thing in our adult lives too? So, we have to work on music, whatever it is. Like, it could be singing, it could be guitar, it could be like, I want to pull my violin back out and play that some more. A sport, and that can be like, for me, it's Pilates and strength training and going on walks. And then a craft. So, like, I started doing chainmail recently. So, having hobbies and
Chainmail.
other
Yeah.
things that are not stream related is really, really important, because it's so easy to just make streaming and being online your life. And
Oh,
then
so
before you know
easy.
it,
Yeah.
you've kind of spent all your time
Just
doing that.
explode your brain.
Yeah. So that's my big recommendation is, parent you like you parent your kids. Make yourself do other things. Start some new hobbies. You've been doing the gym things, and
But
it sounds like that's actually
what would
helping.
I do though? What else would I do? What would my hobby
Anything. What
be?
would, like, learn how to paint. Take a pottery class. You were talking about dancing. Go take a dance class. Go,
I
like,
don't think I want to take a dance
okay,
class
do something that you want to
because I can
do.
already dance.
Do something you want to do, but I do think that there's this misconception
I
too that,
really
like,
can't.
as adults, like, you're too old to learn something, or you're whatever, to like do something new. And I think that is bullshit, and that the older we get, the more we should just become more like our childlike selves and just do all the things that you want to explore and do, especially before your back gives out like mine is doing.
Or more, you become more senile like I do, and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
start
exactly.
forgetting
Before
things.
you forget everything, and then you don't go to your
I don't
dance
know how
class
to
because you
use phones
forgot.
anymore. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
Also,
everyone's
it's
been saying I need to get my phone upgraded, and everyone's like, I'm like, I need to go see the phone man, and they're
the
like, you
phone
don't
man.
need to go see the phone man, as in the person in the shop. It's like they're like, you don't need, you just order it online and get a new one. I was like, but will my number carry across? They were like, yes. And
I
but
go
do
to
you know
the
what I
phone
did today?
man.
I went in, saw the phone man, and he told me some good deals. So I'm
Nice,
gonna
nice.
get myself a new phone. That's gonna
Heck
feel
yeah.
good. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on my phone, get all the apps, get all the socials, and when I'm
And
not on the
live on your
computer, then
phone
I
for the
can
rest
go
of your
on and then live
life.
on my phone. And then I
Bob's
will
your
not be setting a
uncle,
good
or
example
whatever
again.
that weird UK phrase
Bob
is.
is, funnily enough, I actually do have an Uncle Bob. Who would have thought?
Is that
Not
why that's
me.
such a prevalent saying there? Is every uncle is Bob in the UK?
Huh.
No.
Although we do have
Where
lots
does
of
that
Roberts
actually
and
come
Roberts.
from?
Roberts. Robert.
Bob's
My
your
granddad was called
uncle.
Robert. My uncle's called Bob. It's a good name.
Something.
If you're a
Bob's your
Bob,
uncle is a
if you're
British
a Bob,
English idiom meaning something
if
is
you're a
easy
Bob
to
in the
do,
chat, give us a shout. If you're a Bob, I want to see the Bobs.
or something has been
What? Bob?
successfully completed.
I feel like Bob is a dying. I feel like Robert is a. The names go in and out of fashion.
So just so
There's
you
like
know,
names
too,
that are
we're at
dying. Like
53
for
minutes,
instance,
so we should probably
nah,
do our wrap up
stop
stuff
for a
here
minute.
soon. Just
Stop.
saying.
Like, do you know, like some names die? Like Keith is dying.
Well, don't say
Not a
that to
lot of
the
babies are
Keiths.
called Keith, or not a lot of kids are called Gary. I think there's the
Yeah,
girls'
they're
names as well.
just
I don't
called
know how
like
many babies are being called Karen these days.
they're, things. Now I feel like it's the same names, but like Caitlyn, but spelled like
Yeah.
Kaetyyln or something. Like,
Most unpopular
people are
no
trying to get clever with
names
it.
that are dying in 2025. Baby names go at risk of going extinct in 2025. Wait a minute.
I can see our thumbnail now. Twitch numbers and baby names. Like, how how
Are
did we
they
end
at
up
risk of
here,
nah, that
Shaky?
this doesn't look right.
Shaky,
Anyway,
focus.
sorry, I don't know. I don't know. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry. I'm on sites now. What were we talking about? Mental health?
Okay, so I
Oh,
think
look at this. I just went on to the first article. Boys' names becoming extinct. Gary, Bob, Greg, and Jeff. And for the ladies, I called it again. Karen, Linda, Kathy, Tiffany, Caitlin, and Courtney, apparently.
And that checks out.
However, if you're one of those, tell us because you're a unique one. You're a rarity. You can bring the name back. Also, do you know what that bothers me as well? Like, right, like here's the thing.
I
I
think
don't
we
really
just
like.
need to have a
I don't know.
segment at the end of the
Just stop
podcast
a minute. Hang
where
on a
it's
minute.
just
Just stop a
Shaky
minute.
just goes on a
Stop
rant.
a minute.
No, go ahead. What
I don't
bothers
really
you?
like my Twitch. I don't really like my Twitch name anymore. I don't like it.
What would you be instead?
Do you know? Well, do you know if I ever get partner? Do you know what I'm just gonna say? Because you can request one, can't you? And
Mhm.
they'll check to see if it's been used or not. I just want Shaky.
Yeah.
But there's a Shaky account already that I don't even think is active. It's got like 2 followers, and I don't think it's not got a branded picture.
Well,
So I'm just gonna ask them if I ever get partner. I'm just gonna say, can I have that name? I don't like my name at the moment.
yeah, that's fair. I barely ever use the fizzy part of my name. I'm just Tiz everywhere. So ideally
Yeah, the
that would
fizzy
be
bit.
kind of interesting to just be Tiz, but
I
I
don't
don't know if that's
I've
used or
ever
not.
called you. I don't think I've ever called you Tiz Fizzy. It's weird.
You
It's weird.
do sometimes, but you call me Twizzy more
No,
often than not.
no, I don't like that. Anyway, we were talking about mental health
All
and
right.
basically
I think
not making everything. Oh God.
I mean
Yeah,
it
go
ended
on.
up being a lot about
I know I did
some
rant
stuff with
there. So
mindset, some with Twitch numbers. I think we probably could do a whole episode on starting to stream tips, do's and don'ts, and there he goes at some point in life. One thing that we always like to do at the end of the episodes is talk about our favorite games of the week and things that we enjoyed for that. Are you standing up or are you just being short?
Oh, come on. I'm not that short. I'm taller than you.
He's not.
You do realize this.
He's basically the
Yes,
same height.
I'm
Your
standing up at the
hair, your
moment.
Jimmy Neutron hair does not count as height, just so you're aware.
Yep, Jimmy Neutron, that's me.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
let's okay,
favorite,
you
what's
go
your
first. What's
game
your
of the
game
week?
of the week? You go first this
I mean,
time,
you
'cause
already
I
know
went
mine.
first
We already
last
talked
time.
about it a little bit, but Clair Obscur,
It goes
Expedition
on and on and on
Expedition
about it.
33. It's like Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate and Persona and Lies of P like had a baby to make the prettiest, most unique turn-based RPG, best story. It made me sob last night. And it's just so pretty and gorgeous, and I'm so sad to be traveling because I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can run it on my laptop so I can stream it while like soon because I don't know if I
Good luck
can do
with
without it.
that.
But I was just say I don't know if my
Good
poor
luck.
little
But
laptop can handle streaming, and
I've got to be
actually
honest.
more so than the streaming part, it's probably more the internet that I'm gonna struggle with.
I've got
But
to be honest. It does look it looks stunning. When I was watching you play it,
yeah,
and I think it's like the camera work and how the camera zooms into them, and then this kind of UI menu pops out, and then it like
it's
pops out to the side.
so cool.
It's so
I
crisp
love
and
it.
clean. It's
Yep. Anyway, what's your
That's so
what's
funny that
your
you've just started
game?
that you love and you're about to go away from it for like 3
Yeah,
months.
it's painful. But anywho,
It's
your game?
it's funny. Is what it. My game of the week, and again, I'm going to face a similar situation that I'm probably not going to be able to play. Is obviously Oblivion
Oh, is it
Remastered
Oblivion?
because
Yeah.
it
I
came
played
out as a
one stream of
surprise.
that, but then Clair Obscur came out, and I had to make a decision. And I will play Oblivion more at some point. But
It
yeah,
came out as a complete surprise to the
did
gaming
you
universe because
play it, the original?
yeah,
Okay.
but I only played a little bit of it. But I played enough to know the starting and the
Okay.
iconic bits. But then I was more of a Skyrim kid. I played a lot of
Same.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like it came out as a surprise this week. Everyone was buzzing. They were just like Bethesda were like, it's out now, and everyone was like, wait, what? So like downloaded it straight away. Got rid of Baldur's Gate. Goodbye. Obviously, you know I still love
You
Bethesda,
got
but
to get back at some point. But
got it installed, and it's great because they've done a good job with it, and it's fun, and they've polished it, but it's still got all of the old kind of janky bits of the old Oblivion.
yeah,
But the problem is my PC is a piece of shit. So
is it not
I
running
was.
it?
So I started it up, and we went through all the sewers. It was beautiful. Went through all the
Can't you
dungeons,
play it
all
on
the
your
indoor
PlayStation
areas.
though?
Everything was clean and polished and everything. And then opened that door into the outside world where you see the water. And then it was
Yeah.
like
Wait, are
it
you
was like
not
it was
able
like
to play it
20
on
frames a second.
your PlayStation though, or?
I am able to play it on my PlayStation, but that's like 50 quid.
Oh, are you doing it
Whereas
on
it's
Game
on
Pass
Game
right now or
Pass.
something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that checks out. Gotcha.
So now I've got to fork out like 900 quid for a new graphics card or something. So that's great.
Yeah, $50 or 900. It's fine. Obviously, we know the answer to that.
Another thing we always have to keep doing and being streamers is striving to give the best content and the best quality content, and that means constant upgrades, fixes, tech problems, everything. And it's great. It's just so fun. I love this career. Like I love
most of the money I make on streaming goes right back to streaming. I feel like I'm just like all the way back. Also, it cracks me up right before we got to do our ending here because we are on the hour.
oh my God,
cracks me up that
go?
you're able to just like sit and chill the whole time, and I'm a little gremlin over here. Like, I just noticed like I've changed my sitting position. I can't sit with my feet on the floor. It drives me crazy. Do you sit with both your feet on the floor at all times?
Well, not both feet. No, sometimes they kind of they cross like that, and then they hook onto each other.
But like your thighs are on your chair.
Where would my thighs be?
I sit with my leg on my desk. He's going down. Yeah, sorry, you need to make sure don't tell the old man to try new tricks, you know. He's kept breaking.
I think I just twisted.
You okay over there?
Yeah, it really hurt. I thought I was going to fall because this... No, clearly I don't. I can't even... Your chair is obviously... It's because this leans back. Does yours lean back? Or is yours locked?
I can do both.
I don't even know how to lock mine.
And then I just chill. All right, anyway. Okay, stay tuned. We have new episodes every Wednesday at 2 p.m. MST, and what time is it for you at the same time? Shakey.
Got my... Sorry, what?
Oh, you got your knee up? Is that what we were saying? What time does stream drop or podcast drop for you? Is it
9 o'clock British Standard Time, Greenwich Mean Time, UK time? I don't know which one we're in. I think it's British Standard Time. Summertime. Right. Summertime? I don't know.
Wait, is it 9 or 2? Wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, 7 hours. 7 hours.
Okay.
We go through all the fucking time. Although you're going to be in Greece, I don't know. Greece.
I'm still doing MST though because that's like closer to the US time. It's like smack dab in the middle of the US time. So 2 p.m. MST, 9 p.m. GMT.
Rotating.
I am going to make the executive call to end this podcast because Shakey is
2 hours.
derailed fully.
You're going to be 2 hours ahead of me in Greece,
that's okay. I'm still... The time doesn't change. The drop of the podcast episode will stay the same. That my time zone will change.
Okay, we're gonna wrap this. She's asking me to wrap up now, even though she waffles more than waffled more than I did this stream. But yeah, mental health. Look after yourself. Remember to separate life and streaming, and don't face burnout, and don't overthink things, and just turn up and do your best, and you're great.
Yeah. All right. Until next time.
Stay toasty. No, stay toasty, tasty, and tantalizing. Stay voluptuous and vibrant. Stay creamy and classic.
You can just do one. One is fine. All right. High five, Z's. This is going to be our extra. We're going to get good at going high five. And then... All right. Till next episode.
Good stuff.
Bye, y'all.